So we're looking here at Terry Ffyffe's painting Figures in a Room. And what strikes me right away is that this looks like quite a subterranean, unconscious space in the way that we might see images in a dream. It's very elemental. The room looks dark and earthen, like a cave, and the reflections on the ground suggest that there's a kind of fluidity, that things are maybe partly submerged in the way that our earliest pre-memory experiences in the womb are partly submerged. It's about the part of the psyche that's deep and elemental but indistinct. It's difficult to grasp, it's suggestive. The question of the painting, it seems to me, is the relationship between the seated figure or figures on the right-hand side and the white figure that's standing in a room or a hall further back, framed by the doorway. The ones in the foreground are less distinct, more ideas of figures than individuals themselves. And I think the important thing about them is that there's a sense of motion or life about them. The kind of charcoal markings suggest movement of some kind, and the blue is a very vibrant color. The standing figure sort of hovers in the background, and this figure's intentions in relation to the seated one or ones is unclear. Is this a benevolent presence or an ominous one? Is the figure watching over this motion, approaching it, some sort of threat to it? And I'm interested in the way that something like this figure appears in other works by Terry Ffyffe, some of which are in this exhibit. So The Search for the Self, for example, also places an indistinct white figure in a red elemental landscape, here in a way that's more evocative of someone perhaps draped and veiled in clothing or even grave clothes, walking across a desert. Solitary this time. And then there's also a drawing by Ffyffe from 2012 that shows a solitary white figure in the center of the frame, although it's so indistinct in this case that it's not even clear that it is a figure. It's more angelic, more glowing. And as in Figures in a Room, this one is surrounded by darkness. It also brings to mind for me a sculpture by a different artist named Anthony Gormley, and this is a sculpture called Sound 2, which appears in the crypt in Winchester Cathedral, which regularly floods. And so it's a sculpture that's underground and is standing in water, rather like the one in Figures in a Room. And the posture of the two is similar. In Sound 2, the head is bowed and the figure is looking at what we know to be water in its cupped hands because of a hole in the statue that allows water to pour through it and into the sculptor's hands. And all of these sort of resonances, I think, suggest multiple identities for this white standing figure. Is it something angelic, as in the Annunciation? Is it glowing, or is it the self? Is it an evocation of humanity as such, maybe a self searching for its own identity? And it happens upon the drama in this room. Some self that exists in relation to the elemental dimensions of the world, water and earth and rhythmic motion. Gormley has written of his sculpture, quote, "Nature is with us. We are sick when we do not feel it. The sickness of feeling separate from the world is what is killing it. We are earth above ground, clothed by space, seen by light," end quote. And I can't help but feel a kind of loneliness in this figure, even as it's in this landscape, but is also standing separate from it. Writing about Sound 2, the theologian George Pattison also says something that I think is illuminating when looking at Figures in a Room as well. He says, quote, "The body is our way of being in the world as part of the world. Its darkness is the darkness of an earth rich with possibilities for renewal. If the body is also that which makes us mortal, that very mortality and the encounter with death is a doorway to understanding the mystery of life itself."